who actually trusts these developers as to what they say. I've had trust issues ever since Ed Boon has done some stuff. And yeah, I was right. I was happy to not trust them, because guess what? We did actually get a Capcom trailer that came through, or a new Street Fighter 6 trailer that came through. This one's giving us our final commentary in Hikaru Takahashi for on the Japanese side. I think she's supposed to be color commentary, but that's just one aspect. That's the final commentary that we're getting for the game. But we've already gotten the base roster. We already knew who's going to be the base roster here. But the cool thing is we got some additional gameplay. Cammy White was shown off playing against Lily. We got to see also kind of like the dream match that a lot of us have been waiting on with Zangief and Marisa. That one was awesome to watch, but let's focus down a little bit on the Cammy and Lily, because there was a couple little things here and there we got to see that we haven't seen in their trailers before. I don't know if you guys happen to snipe something out, but I want to bring your attention here. So we actually got to see some of the drive impact animations for both Lily and for Cammy. Cammy's was a little bit wilder. Lily's, I think, was pretty far reaching, but yeah, those clubs go full extent. But we got to see a little bit, like I said, of Cammy. Her drive rush, bro. I have to stop saying that. Like, Dragon Ball has really messed me up there. Yeah, we got to see her drive impact, and Cammy's drive impact was what got me a little scared at first, because when I saw it, I forgot drive impact is 2 hits of armor, 2 dose. You need to hit it 3 times in order to break it, right? But she does kind of like a more
like her spinning back knuckle.
It's yeah, basically that's what I was thinking. Like, it's like her spinning back knuckle is what I'm seeing here, but it seemed to have lunged her forward, but because of the interaction with Lily's what's that move called again, the T-Hawk joint, Condor Spire, like the horizontal one, it like was pushing her away, like it wasn't letting her advance. So it was like kind of weird. I had to like do a double take there, but we actually got an animation now for it, which is cool. So I think it looks like it's gonna cover a solid distance too.
Yeah, I mean, I really listen, like, I like seeing Crouch Fierce again from Cammy. I was just like, whoa, familiarity. They made it look different, but not awkward. I like it.
Crouching forward as well.
Yeah, this is what I want. I want gameplay. Go ahead.
I think they put a lot more time into Cammy this time around. Like, even from her animations to when she's exhausted, stuff like that. Like, I actually, as a Cammy, like, I don't even know what you want to say.
Former main.
Connoisseur, like, former main. I really like what they've done with her. She looks like she's more fleshed out as a character. She doesn't feel, I guess, as basic. Like, she has a basic game style of play, like gameplay style, but now she seems like she has a little bit more intricacy to her that makes her like even more interesting than before. Because now I like the moveset. I'm just like, oh man, I see a lot of Street Fighter 4. I see a lot of Street Fighter 5, but I see like some things that were in Street Fighter 5 that were locked behind systems are now free to be used, right? So she has her spiral cannon, but it's not the EX version, but it's the V trigger version. So I thought that was really cool to just see as a normal move. Like, it's almost like she just upgraded. They just gave her as a normals. Her grab is the most amazing thing.
Yeah, I've said it plenty of times before. I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but I mean, the biggest thing that I've taken away from Street Fighter 6 that a lot of people I think agree on is like these characters, they feel whole. Like, Street Fighter 5 had that issue where a character didn't seem to have all their options until that V trigger got popped, right? Until that prerequisite was checked off, these characters just didn't feel like they could do what their game plan was meant to do. Like, some of them did still, some of them could do them with or without, right? Not to say V trigger dictated everything, but it was a big component to knowing if a character was going to be good in all situations, right? Because if you don't have a high V trigger that you needed, like a V trigger that had high value, that means V reversals were more apparent, V shifts were more available to you. You didn't have to sacrifice maybe that component of your gameplay. In Street Fighter 6, all these characters they're whole. They just have their tools to do their gameplay, and then the universal mechanics that everyone has. It's the same to everyone. The rules apply to everybody. Minus the frame data. That's going to be the only part that's going to be a little different. Are the same, so you can all kind of expand on the same playing field, right? We're all on the same playing field when it comes to that. And yeah, Cammy feels definitely like an evolution, for sure. Everything about her character, right? Her design, she's wearing pants, right? Big shocker. PSA to everybody. She's wearing pants. Is already a start. Short hair, but the cool thing is even her jacket still like has little belt things that are hanging around. Like if you look at her and her kind of like almost like a silhouette, like it looks like her initial hair still, like her little ponytails are still there. Like it hasn't really gone away, but it's still like there, right? They're still giving love to that OG costume, which by the way we're still gonna get anyway. We've seen the leaked footage long ago, and trust the cheeks are there. The cheeks are still gonna be there. Y'all gonna be happy. Don't worry. It's just Capcom's waiting. They just knew we're gonna leave this girl for last. We know what it is. We know who's gonna be enjoying it. We're gonna give her the stretch and everything. We know what we're doing.
Listen, if they leave it for last, the less likelihood of them changing it. Of people being like, "Oh yeah, no, don't change it. Don't change it. It's almost out. It's almost coming." But at least, I mean, so there was something else that I saw in this trailer. Oh, and Meza, you talked about how simplistic she can be. Like Street Fighter 2, she wasn't that good. All she had was a spiral arrow, somewhat of a spinning back knuckle, and
her hooligan
cannon spike. Yeah, hooligan. Yeah, and it's sort of like, all right, I can just.
She didn't even have the dive kick.
No dive kick, but she had the hooligan.
She did?
No dive kick, but she had the hooligan.
I don't remember
grab.
that.
Yeah, not the dive kick. But she had the grab. It was just a command grab. Oh, and the slide, and it slid. So, yeah.
It's weird. I don't play her in Turbo. I play Guile. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, Guile's pretty cheap. You got to reverse. You shouldn't play her here. Just play Guile in this game. But one thing to round out actually Cammy though is the follow-up tweet, because everyone was tripping out about her hooligan throw for good reason, because we got to see a semblance of some of the new that she's bringing in, right? And that is actually, like we said, her hooligan throw. We got a little bit of a kind of a showcase here. We started noticing, like, doing it off vanilla, like nothing crazy, right? It just looks like your typical hooligan throw. Yep, she grips you, throws you, leg day. No, don't miss it. Core. But then we see another version of it. Maybe it was heavy, right? Maybe heavy, light, and medium will have different aspects to it. No, not the case. You can charge the hooligan throw now, which I always thought, funny enough, that actually hooligan throw is probably my favorite move from Cammy's. I've always liked it, maybe because that's the closest I get to almost like making her a stance character, where I have an option, right? Depending on the button you press, you have a certain action, right? We've established that's like my thing, apparently, in fighting games is stance characters. So I like options, baby. I like to press A, B, or C. RPS. Let's go. Maybe that's why I also play biking. Who knows?
Do you block?
Did you block? No? Yes? Okay. I go through a flow chart. But yeah,
she can. If you block.
Oh, did I block? I never block.
Why would he block if he has all these RPs?
Yeah. Why would I block? I have help.
He's guessing for his life anyway. So.
Yeah. Fuck it. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna die. Oh, shocker. If I don't block, I might still die. Yeah, but we got to see that hooligan throw has some new, has some new options to it when it comes to charging it, where you can actually follow up and get more out of it. So including into a spiral arrow into super. And we've already seen that she can then link super to other supers and such. So they're expanding the roster. It's not really a surprise, because we already saw that with the base roster from what we've gotten with the beta. And in that roster, we only got Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Jury, I guess is now legacy, right? Who are the other base characters were there that we got? Guile. And that's it, right? The rest was Jamie, Luke, Kimberly.
Are we talking about that's base new?
That we got in, like that we've got in the beta, right? I think that's.
Oh, that we got in the beta. Yeah, we only had Chun-Li,
Ryu, Ken, and Jury.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it, right? And even then, their kits are a combination of what we've seen previously, and with some a little bit of nuances to it, right? Ken has his that overhead kick of his that you can charge up. You can be plus, and his Oki starts. What's up?
Isn't Luke part of that original cast now?
I don't know.
I don't
need
one more.
No, fuck no. He was around for 0.15 of a game. He's not a legacy character, all right? He was meant for this game. They brought him to 5 to buy some time. We know where he was supposed to be shown off at. He is not a legacy character. I don't care what anyone says. Luke is not a legacy character. He is still new blood.
2 full games. You need to be.
Yeah. Give me at least 2 full games. That's why Jury makes a cut, because it was 4, right? 4 and 5. She's been in. Luke has only been in. Technically in 1.
No, it's fine. She was there for the early DLC though.
Yeah, she was like season 2, right?
She wasn't the last season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Was she season 1? Yeah, she was in the story mode.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been a while. But yeah, so Cammy's looking really good, and like I said, we actually did get some gameplay with Geef and Marisa Something we were wondering for a while. Zangief with coming out the gate with the drive impact. Oh my god!
Oh no, we did talk about this actually.
No,
I do remember.
No, we talked about Zangief in general. We talked about Zangief in general because we saw his lariat. This came out after last week's show. We definitely didn't cover this.
Oh, this is
still the Capcom spotlight. Yes. So we got to see Zangief and Marisa. We got to see the clap with the drive impact. We got to see kind of like also the insane amount of recovery his command grab has. This is specifically like EX too, like to boot, right? Like I would assume EX has even more recovery, but like peep this out, right? We go with the neutral. Look at that. God damn, that whiff.
I think it's good though, because if command grab characters are going to be extra strong in this game, with the way the frame data looks and everything else, I think it's good for them to have recovery. I mean, any game that plays like Street Fighter or close to it should have an innumerous amount of recovery on moves, because it makes it fair for punishing, right? So that's the biggest thing.
So I just want to make a couple notes here just from looking at it. Like the amount that it pushes him forward though is kind of wild. Because he was like a fair distance away, and so this feels more like it's actually bear grab, like EX bear grab, than it is standard SPD. Because historically it was bear grab that lets him move forward, right? He usually gets a piece of armor or something like that and he gets to move forward. That's the trade, right, for using those resources. This is standard SPD or EX SPD.
Yes.
Solid. But EX bear grab, I believe, is what we see at about I think it's like 48 seconds or 50 seconds.
They showed EX Lariat has 2 hits, which is oof. Try to drive impact that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's what, 3 hits, right? So
it's 3 hits. So actually, it would
crouch jab.
Yeah, exactly. A jab into that. Like if the startup is high enough or fast enough, it could work out. And then we actually got to see Marisa's follow-up, or still not even completely. We got to see, for a minute, we're like, oh, she punches you, gets a guaranteed corner carry, and we know there's a follow-up for the critical art. We just don't know what it was, but apparently when she does duff you in the face, she, besides getting flashbanged, ow, my eyes, you get a nice little heart over your character's face. It's all tough love is what we're trying to say out here. So yeah, that's... Those is a little sprinklings. Like they're not going to give us too much more. The closer we get to the game, though, once again, it's happening June 2nd. It's like 2 months away, like under 2 months, or excuse me, under 3 months. It's like 2 months and 3 weeks or something like that. It's around the corner, man. I think with the base roster that we got, the game's looking good. The DLC, which we already know who's DLC, it's just a matter of who's getting released when. To be honest. You can do a quick Google search and find out the entire sheet. That was like months and months ago. But for the base roster, I think we have a really good variety of characters to kind of bring in a lot of the OG. I mean, they have the original 8. I don't know if you caught that little Easter egg where the original 8 from Street Fighter 2 are all blocked together in the bottom of the screen. I was like, oh my heart! Like I was like, there was just a semblance of just like it was. I felt home. All I can think about are pizza parlors and malls and seeing that cab and seeing that character select screen. Oh, these guys! This really is a love letter to Street Fighter 2, but at the same time, it's an evolution of it, and I'm super stoked for it. I don't know about you guys, but who are you? I just want to know from our listeners, who are you guys most stoked to play now that the base roster is out? Who are you looking to play? Are there any legacy characters that you feel like they've done enough to give it a new coat of paint that you'll try now, that you've never tried before? Or are you just going to go all for the new?